EGIdra is going to be smart enough to know that he's forcing Thor.
Yeah. And he's just sort of like poking around the outside, seeing he's not taking any damage, but he's keeping TLO on his toes, right?
Mm-hmm. And
I just got an observer ping. Yeah, what's going on
we're
here?
We're getting weapons 1 for TLO. I think that was what the ping was for. And that would just be from the the actual Dreamhack casters, which was Apollo. And I should really look up the second caster because I can't remember what his name was. But Apollo is a very known caster in Sweden, and at the Dreamhack, I think he did the last Dreamhack as well.
Yeah, he did the last Dreamhack with Day 9 actually.
Yeah, and that I think his new partner, like, don't get me wrong, I love Day 9, but I don't really think Day 9 had chemistry with Apollo as much as the caster this series did. I've never. The caster that casted with Apollo was actually a pro player who's been out for 2 weeks, or sorry, 2 months. I don't know. He's been out for a while with an arm injury. He's actually got a piece of metal in his arm now.
That must make it hard to play StarCraft.
Yeah, so he hasn't been playing in the pro scene for a while. So he did settle down to, cast Dreamhack, which I appreciate because he did a great job. And in the next game, I'll have researched who that caster is. So stay tuned to find that name if you haven't already watched it on another channel.
Look at EGIdra's timing of these Muta here.
Oh, I am watching.
Like TLO is way out of position to deal with this, and
he's just gonna go
I
balls
think
out
he could
and push.
actually stay. He could stay in there a little longer and deal some more damage.
Although he's baiting him right, he takes a Thor shell to that ball. But the Marines the Muta are spread out enough that it didn't do any damage. So.
But if anything, it's buying him a lot of time to build a lot of stuff. You can see TLO's turned around now. I think he had it in his mind that he was going to push there, but when that Muta sort of...
And look at EGIdra's deny on that third.
Oh yeah, and it's going to take a while for that creep to recede.
That is so annoying. So annoying. And EGIdra's taking his fourth, really showing off his macro and his creep spread while microing those Mutas. So that's a lot to do at once. I'd be curious as to what the APM tab's looking like. EGIdra, hovering around 200. So it's no OGSMC, but man, the guy does what he needs to do.
Look at that, splitting off one Muta just to spot the incoming Thor.
Very nice. And
they're just going to get out of there. He's denied these 2 gases here, which is really smart, actually, for this really mech-heavy build. And you can see, actually, TLO is spending his resources pretty evenly, but I think this is going to put him really far behind in Thor count and in tech in general. And he's just landing his third right now.
I'm so glad you were talking because I was busy yawning. And not because this game is boring, but it is 3 a.m. It is 3 a.m. and we are staying up to cast these games for you. And my voice is cracking. I feel like a 10-year-old schoolgirl. We do see... I'm going to open up the production tab because I'm missing so much. We do see an infestation pit getting the pathogen glands for the infestors.
2 infestors, and I think these infestors are well timed too, because they're not going to pop until these pathogen glands are finished. So these infestors are all going to spawn with enough energy to cast fungal growth.
Yeah, pathogen glands are actually just beautifully timed right before the infestors pop, and he's getting the melee attack too, and we are seeing a. Oh, he's morphing a layer. Okay.
Hive?
Oh, yeah, he's building a hive, so he's already got the layer. But, yeah, he's getting that hive tech, and the weapons, the melee weapons, is going to be great if he goes into Broodlords, because those Broodlings actually gain attack bonus from the melee attack.
Very nice fungal growth there, not losing anything.
Oh. Holy balls. Baneling's crashing into the mech, so not the biggest amount of damage, but the Muta clean up anything left behind.
And he's got so many lings, too, that he's absorbing a lot of siege tank fire and dealing that splash damage to TLO's own units.
And now the weapons 2 is finishing on that melee attack, and 26 lings being produced, and like I predicted, a greater spire. So, any kind of rebuild that Liquid TLO does now is going to be so hard to push out with because of those lings with the weapons upgrade.
And take a look at that. The supply count right now is 176 to 111. So Terran have a really, 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 really hard time rebuilding their army. And I think that's the hardest thing about playing Terran versus Zerg is you really can't lose that death push. If you lose it, Like it's really hard to come back from a situation like TLO's in.
And EGIdra did a great job of keeping his Mute alive, which was really the only expensive unit in that attack. I mean, the rest of his army was generally Lings and Banelings.
Yeah, he had a couple infestors, but I don't think he lost a single infestor. Maybe he lost one, because nope, there's 3 here, and I'm pretty sure I only saw 3 get produced.
Yeah, he never built 3 after that. He went straight to Corruptors.
Yeah, so he landed a couple of like really nice fungal growth just to deal a little bit of damage, a little bit of extra damage, and then ran it over with the majority of his forces.
And I think a big key factor in that fungal growth was locking those units in place so that the Banelings could collide with them.
I think it had timed out before they actually did collide with them, but
It
yeah,
allowed
you're
them to
right.
catch up at least.
Yeah, exactly.
And
A little drop harassment over here by TLO, but I'm not sure it'll be too effective since there are no drones here.
no, it's kind of a wasted drop for sure.
Mhm.
And, you know, he's going to get caught. He's not even going to be
Yeah.
able to get away because of those Muta. So, yeah, just kind of a loss of units there for, you know, TLO. And he's going to need every unit he can get. So that was probably a poor decision. And just total map control. And look at this. We have 5 Broodlords for EGIdra.
Still a lot of muta too. I'm surprised he. Well, actually, he hasn't really lost too many mutas, so.
At this point, EGIdra probably just wants the Muta to die so he can
Yep.
have supply.
And he's getting that crackling upgrade too. It just finished, so his Lings now do an extra 20%. Attack 20% faster.
So like I said, these Broodlings, they have weapons too, which gives them an extra. They do 6 damage now apiece.
Plus the initial 20 that the the Broodlords do when they slam those into the ground.
This is definitely not looking good. For
Nice fungal growth on the top there, but I think TLO's he was split up. Yeah, GG.
There's nothing to be said there. You don't even need to get excited because this was long seen after losing that first push. And
Like look at what EGIdra's got in the bank there. You need to find that little. It's like an action figure or whatever, and you press and it goes GG.
I really want that now.
Yeah, it's it's so good.
I didn't know that existed. And look at just the control everywhere. He's denying everything. If you look at the top right, you know, Liquid TLO was trying to get another base, and again, just blocked by creep.
And he's got that really aggressive creep spread on the top of the map. Not so much on the bottom. I think it's because TLO was pushing there a little earlier, but on the top where he did have the opportunity to spread his creep.
That same creep highway that we saw from Mouse Morrow without the overlords. So very nice, very nice. And this is game 2 between Liquid TLO and EGIdra in a best of 3. So this could go to anyone still. Who do you favor to win?
I don't know. Seeing it tied up 1-1, it could go either way. Like TLO's got a really, really strong style of play, but then against the macro of EGIdra, yeah, it's
There's no room
I don't
for-
want to say it's a coin flip, but it is like I can't call it.
There's no room for mistake from Liquid TLO in the early game. Because once it gets to late game, that's when EGIdra shines. So we'll see. We'll see how these games go. I'm SSN and Carnum, and you're watching StarCraft Inc.
You sure are.